Hello everyone, this is Techno Dog. It's about time we talked about a brand like Nokia, whose phones have long been considered innovative and led the market. In recent years, the company hasn't been doing very well, but recently, a new Nokia 7.2 smartphone was introduced, which will be discussed in this video. I'll compare it with its predecessor, the Nokia 7.1. Sit back and relax, this one's gonna be interesting. But before I start comparing these smartphones, make sure you click on the bell and subscribe to the Techno Dog channel. The comparison of the Nokia 7.1 and the Nokia 7.2 will start with the appearance. Visually, these smartphones are very different. The Nokia 7.1 has a case consisting of glass panels and an aluminum frame. The smartphone turned out to be pretty small and light. It weighs 160 grams. It has a length of 149.7 and a width of 71.2. The phone is 8mm thick. The screen of the device has a protective Gorilla Glass 3 screen. In its upper part, there is a cutout in which there is a front camera, a speaker, and proximity and lighting sensors. A power button and a volume rocker are placed on the right edge of the case. On the left side is a slot for 2 nano format SIM cards, one of which can be replaced with a microSD memory card. At the top is a 3.5mm headphone jack and a microphone. At the bottom is a USB Type-C charging port, a speaker, and a second microphone. The Nokia 7.2 also received a glass case. The frame is made of a high-tech polymer composite, which is twice as strong as ordinary polycarbonate and twice as light as aluminum. The front panel has a protective glass layer, Gorilla Glass 3. The smartphone is large and heavier than its predecessor. It weighs 180 grams, has a length of 159.9, a width of 75.2, and a thickness of 8.3 millimeters. At the top of the screen is a drop-shaped cutout for the front camera. A little higher than that is a narrow strip of speakers. On the right side are the volume rocker and power button. On the left is a button for calling the voice assistant, as well as a combined slot for 2 nano format SIM cards or 1 SIM card and a memory card. Above is a microphone and a 3.5mm headphone jack, and below is a second microphone, another speaker, and a USB Type-C connector. At the top of the back of the Nokia 7.1 is a vertical module that houses cameras and a flash. A little lower is a round container in which there is a fingerprint scanner. The smartphone is available in 2 colors, gray and dark blue. On the back of the Nokia 7.2 is a round module that houses 3 cameras and a flash. A little lower is the fingerprint scanner. As for colors, the smartphone can be purchased in white, black, and green. The Nokia 7.1 is equipped with an IPS screen with a diagonal of 5.84 inches. Its resolution is 1080 by 2280 pixels, and the aspect ratio is 19:9. The screen has support for HDR10 technology and adaptive brightness depending on the lighting. There's also a night mode designed to reduce eye strain. There's a function for waking the screen using a double tap, which shows the notifications and the time when you pick up the phone. The Nokia 7.2 is equipped with a 6.3-inch IPS display with a resolution of 1080 by 2280 pixels and an aspect ratio of 19:9. The image is bright and saturated, even in bright sunlight. The phone has the HDR10 mode and the always-on display function, which allows you to display convenient information on the off-screen. At the time of launch, the Nokia 7.1 used the Android 8.1 Oreo operating system with the possibility of further updating to Android 9 Pie. The Nokia 7.2 was released with the Android 9.0 operating system on board, as part of the Android One program. Both smartphones work on pure Android, without branded add-ons from the manufacturer. This has several advantages in the form of the absence of unnecessary applications and services, as well as the timely receipt of all system updates. Thus, in the near future, these smartphones will receive a new version of the Android 10 operating system with a dark theme, an updated design, and additional gesture controls. The cameras of the Nokia 7.1 were equipped with Zeiss optics, as evidenced by the inscription on the back of the smartphone. The main camera received a 12-megapixel lens with fast phase detection autofocus. An additional module with the sensor resolution of 5 megapixels is used to measure depth of field and blur the background. The quality of images on such a camera is average, with a maximum resolution of 432 by 3024 pixels. Video recording can be carried out in 4K resolution with a frequency of 30 frames per second. The Nokia 7.1 uses a single module with a sensor resolution of 8 megapixels as the front camera. The quality of shooting in well-lit environments is quite decent, but when shooting indoors or at night, it noticeably deteriorates. The Nokia 7.2 has a triple camera with Zeiss optics. This includes the main 48 megapixel camera with a wide-angle lens and phase detection autofocus. In addition, the smartphone uses an 8 megapixel ultra-wide-angle camera with a viewing angle of 118 degrees and a depth sensor of 5 megapixels. There's also digital image stabilization. The camera produces good quality pictures in any lighting and can photograph moving objects well. Video recording can be carried out in 4K resolution with a frequency of 30 frames per second. The front camera of the smartphone is 20 megapixels. In portrait mode, there are various filters and various tools for the correction of imperfections of photos. In regards to processors, the Nokia 7.1 uses Qualcomm Snapdragon 636, which contains 8 Cryo 260 processor cores operating at a frequency of up to 1.8 GHz. The smartphone uses the Adreno 506 graphics accelerator. The phone is available in a version with 3 GB of RAM and 32 GB of internal memory. There is also a version with 4 GB of RAM and 64 GB of internal memory. It's possible to install a micro SD memory card. The Nokia 7.2 uses a Qualcomm octa-core processor, namely the Snapdragon 660. Cryo 260 cores operate at 2.2 and 1.8 GHz. The smartphone uses the Adreno 512 video accelerator. As for RAM, there are versions with 4 and 6 GB, and the amount of internal memory is 64 or 128 GB. You also have the ability to install a micro SD card with a capacity of 512 GB in the Nokia 7.2. As for the communication capabilities of the Nokia 7.1 and the Nokia 7.2, both smartphones support dual-band Wi-Fi, including the AC standard. The devices use Bluetooth version 5.0. An NFC module can be found in the Nokia 7.1. In the Nokia 7.2, NFC is also present, but only in certain countries' versions of the phone. The Nokia 7.1 has a 3060 mAh lithium polymer battery. The smartphone supports fast charging. As for autonomy, the device can work for up to 20 hours of talk time. The Nokia 7.2 received a lithium polymer battery with a capacity of 3500 mAh. In a balanced mode of operation, the smartphone can work for 2 days on one charge. I analyzed the reviews from the owners of these smartphones. Let's take a look at what the owners of these smartphones had to say about them. Negative. Nokia 7.1. The battery depletes quickly. Not enough internal memory. Slippery body. Nokia 7.2. It slows down while playing some games. Slippery body. No wireless charging. Positive. Nokia 7.1. Fast fingerprint scanner. Bright and large screen. There's an NFC module and a 3.5mm headphone jack. Android One without unnecessary applications. Nokia 7.2. Bright and large screen. Attractive design. There's an NFC module. Android One. So, the Nokia 7.2 received an updated design, a new module for the main camera consisting of 3 lenses, a battery with increased capacity, and a more powerful processor. Both smartphones have pure Android without shells and heaps of applications. In the description under the video, I posted links to online stores where you can see prices for the Nokia 7.1 and the Nokia 7.2. That's all for me. Like this video, subscribe to the TechnoDog channel, and click on the bell to receive notifications of new videos. Bye everyone!